tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning. Ow. No, the wrist has not gotten better. It's all right. It needs to hurt or they won't look at it. No. Or they will not look at it. They'll be like, no, we don't want to see it. We don't want to see it. Did I post that? I did. Okay, good. We are ready to go. We're going to be talking tradition 5 today, it looks like. It's from the Daily Reflection. But welcome. Good to have you. Looks like people are starting to pile on in. So, awesome, man. Awesome. I always like it when people enjoy the podcasts. These are the lives. And when I interview other people, I'm really glad that people are enjoying them. There's a lot of people that are out there trying to help other people and do it the right way. And I'd like to support those people. Yeah. So I'm interrupting Ozzy. Okay, well, go watch Ozzy, man. I ain't stopping. I ain't stopping you. Oh, I would never interrupt the Prince of Darkness, not intentionally, not on purpose, not on purpose. Oh, stop saying the word toxic. It's enough, man. It's enough. Toxic is name calling. I don't. And when a therapist says it, it's even worse, man. Oh, I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. Diary of a Madman got me through about 6 months of group homes. Diary of a Madman, his first solo album. Diary of a Madman. Going to trade children, huh? Good for you. We really need to bring the barter system back. Happy birthday, Isaac. What, he's 4? Is he 4 now? 5? I know I'm probably wrong. I barely even remember my own grandchildren's, how they are. All right. So, all right. Just came from a meeting, ATCC, which is the Adams County. And as soon as I go in, a new thing has been done, and they didn't really like it. But they were cutting down the POTUS when I came into the meeting, and I don't appreciate that shit. That is not the arena for it. So, Heather, good to see you. I was just thinking about you yesterday, wondering where the fuck you been. I didn't think you went out or anything. Just wondering where you've been. Amber's listening to the it's the duet that he did with Lita Ford. If I close my eyes forever, no, I'll never feel the same. Not that bad of a singer. I'm not. Depends on what it is. If it gets too high, can't really. I'm a better backup singer. I'm better at harmony than I am lead singing. I just do a lot of different voices and Been a while since I've done any impressions around here. Should we do an impression? Which one should we do? Leah Nash. Some things in here don't react well to bullets. The name is Bond. James Bond. All right. Would it all remain the same? No. Wow, wow. All right, this is going to get cut. Let's get to it. Welcome to Daily Trudge. Dion, host dude, Friday. Stay sober. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Right? So we're going to be page 151 is where we're going to be at in the 12 by 12 for anybody that would like to follow along. Right. I'm just going to start at the beginning here. Tradition 5 ain't that long in Dion's world. Right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.4, 4 and 1/4, 4 and 1/4 pages. That is not the designation for Hogwarts. That is 9 3/4. This reading is not going to get you to Hogwarts. All right. Tradition 5. Each group has but one primary purpose: to carry its message to the alcoholic who still suffers. Shoemaker, stick to thy last. Better do one thing supremely well than many badly. That is the central theme of this tradition. Around it, our society gathers in unity. The very life of our fellowship requires the preservation of this principle. Alcoholics Anonymous can be likened to a group of physicians who might find a cure for cancer, and upon whose concerted work it would depend on the answer of sufferers of this disease. True, each physician in such a group might have his own specialty. Every doctor concerned would at times wish he could devote himself to his chosen field rather than work with the group. But once these men had hit upon a cure, once it became apparent that only by their united effort this could be accomplished, then all of them would feel bound to devote themselves solely to the relief of cancer. In the radiance of such a miraculous discovery, any doctor would set his other ambitions aside at whatever personal cost. All right. So, how is this like the group? Have you ever been part of a group that grows? Not necessarily just AA, but any kind of group. Maybe you did plays. I'm trying to think of some examples. Something that you kind of went through together that was a little bit arduous, and you put in your specialty to help the group, even though you wanted to kind of do your own thing. But to find out that because you put all of your effort together, people were saved. You would feel devoted to that. You would feel kind of obligated to that, would you not? Right? Maybe you were in a play, but you didn't get the part that you wanted. But what you're going to do is you still want to be in the play, so you're the best number 2 tree that you can be. Because at the end, everybody's clapping. They loved it. And if it wasn't for tree number 2, the play wouldn't have happened, even though you had no lines. Maybe you just stood there like a tree, not barking about anything. All right, bad dad joke. All right. Just as firmly bound by obligation are the members of Alcoholics Anonymous, who have demonstrated that they can help problem drinkers as seldom can. The unique ability of each AA to identify himself with and bring recovery to the newcomer in no way depends upon his learning, eloquence, or on any special individual skills. The only thing that matters is that he is an alcoholic who has found a key to sobriety. Hey, Michelle, good afternoon to you. Still morning here. Or a cherry tree. Yes, you could be a cherry tree. I haven't listened to Black Horse and the Cherry Tree in a while. Song that we used to play in my band, in a band I was in. All right. Right? There's one alcoholic who has found the answer to sobriety, found the key to sobriety. You don't need to speak well. You don't need to have nice clothes. I don't. I help a lot of people. Right? Do what I can anyway. It's something I'm trying to get the professional world to understand, because they seem to think that they can take care of this. They're going to find out very, very quickly that they can't. It continues to fail and fail and fail and fail. Because they refuse to expand their education. They refuse to understand that AA is the #1 program. AA helps more alcoholics than all other programs combined. And it always will. Unless somebody else comes out with another program just like this and maybe does something a little different to attract people or something. I don't know. I'd probably join it too. I don't give a fuck what it's called. I just know I need it. All right. Isn't it nice that we're called Alcoholics Anonymous and not A Way Out? Because that was the original name. I'm Dion. I'm a member of A Way Out. Doesn't quite work, does it? Doesn't quite. All right. These legacies of suffering. And what are legacies of suffering? That means years, generational suffering. It being passed on from one person to another, that would be a legacy, right? What legacy are you going to leave behind to your children? Of suffering and recovery are easily passed among alcoholics one to another. This is our gift from God, and its bestowal upon others like us is the one aim that animates AAs all around the globe. All around. What do we call it? We call it the language of the heart. We meet each other where we're at. We're not all sick on the same day, right? We support each other. Oh, I went out and came back. I only got 3 days. Yeah, that ain't going to fly in an AA meeting. Don't you dare say I only got 3 days around a recovered alcoholic. They will chew your ass in a nice way. Only, you mean you have 3 days. 3 days is a long fucking time. We call it 30 days, 1,000 nights for a reason. 30 days is longer than 9 years. Alcoholics will understand that. They will understand it. Right? And these are the things that are easily passed among us. Oh, when a doctor tells you're going to die, it's one thing. But when an alcoholic sits down and lets you know, not only are you dying, you're killing everybody around you with it. What the fuck are you doing? And we get away with this because we did it too. But we found a way up and out. It is the altruistic movement inside of AA that keeps people there. It's what keeps people sober, because we don't want anything from you, newcomer. You don't have anything to give me yet. I know, pretty brazen. But it's the reason why we didn't let people with less than 30 days talk. That was the reason. I don't quite agree with it. I think people with less than 30 days should be able to talk. Do they have any real hope? No. But getting that shit off their chest will give them hope, and isn't that what we're going for? Yes, it is. If I have to listen to somebody whine that I've heard a million times, I've heard it all, and I've heard it all a million times. I've heard every fucking excuse in the book. There's always the big one. I'm too busy. Now that I'm sober, I'm just too busy. I got this and I got that and I got that. Well, you ain't going to have it unless you stick to your recovery. It's all going to disappear. Yeah, but I'm just too busy. It is always easier to skip the second meeting. Always. And that is not a warning. It's a promise. That's alcoholic thinking for you. There's another reason for this singleness of purpose. It is the great paradox of AA that we know we can seldom keep the precious gift of sobriety unless we give it away. There's another song, Little Red Hot Chili Peppers, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Now, let's go back to that newcomer. Maybe you got a week of sobriety. I'm going to steal this from Amber, by the way. All right. Her sponsor told her, you can help people. You know where to get a big book. You know where to get a 12 by 12. You know how to go to a meeting. You know how a meeting works. These are the things that you could do. You know how to pour coffee. See? Yeah. So even a person with only 7 days can contribute to the group. Not only that, but I think a person's probably going to believe a person with 7 days than they are over 9 years. 9 years seems like for fucking ever to an alcoholic, right? That's how much time I have. But a person with a week, well, gosh, that seems a lot more manageable, doesn't it? And they made it for a week. I can make it for a week. A week's not long. I can do that. Before you know it, they're living a day at a time. Good job, person with a week. Good job. You did help. Because you have a week of experience. Not, I only have 7 days. I have 7 days. And in these 7 days, I've learned this. Right? Michelle says spiritual maintenance is a must. It is. I would agree. If a group of doctors possessed a cancer cure, they might be conscience-stricken if they failed their mission through self-seeking. Yet such a failure wouldn't jeopardize their personal survival. For us, if we neglect those who are still sick, there is an unremitting danger to our own lives and sanity. Right? Welcome back, Amber. Did you go barter off the kid yet? Did you go barter off the kid? Right? So if we neglect those, I don't know how many people I see, they got sober and all they're doing is sitting on, now they're going to the beach. They're doing, and here we are again. I'm too busy to pass this forward. It means you don't have much to give. Most people I see in videos and stuff, two-steppers. I know when you don't want to do the work. And I know how you're going to avoid it. And I know what will happen next. And you are not any different than anybody else. You will go out and get drunk. That is exactly what will happen. Patterns do not lie. Oh, invoice for ATC meeting. Remember how much trouble I got? Adams County pay me? Yeah, now they're being proactive. That's awesome. I can appreciate that. That's awesome. Cool. See, God, sometimes God will put problems in your life, and these are opportunities to make sure it doesn't happen to the next person. I made enough of a ruckus that they're like, we ain't going through this again. And if Dion needs to be paid, then they're going to handle it with children's gloves now. Good. They should. Not because of me, but because it's the right thing to do. Right thing to do. That, and they probably don't want me writing Levon, who's their boss. Another reason to sing. Said Levon. Under the compulsions of self-preservation, duty, and love, it is not strange that our society has concluded that has one high mission, to carry the message to those who do not know there is a way out. Here's part of the problem. People tend to think, I know I do this, I tend to think that people know what I know. Aha. Most people out there don't even know AA exists. I'm going to tell you that right now. I know in your world, it's like, how would they fucking not know? I mean, it's all over the TV. It's all over. But there's some people that don't know about AA. Maybe they heard of the name, but they know nothing about it. They walk around with the misnomers. Oh, AA is religious. They're going to force God down your throat. I see it all the time. People say that, oh, they told me I had to get a higher power. Nobody told you that. That's just what you wanted to hear. So you could make an excuse because you didn't want to do the work. That's all I hear you saying. I don't want to do the work. Fine. Go over there. And when you're ready to do the work, let me know. But in the meantime, I'm going to go help this person who's ready to do the work. That's how we work it. Right? Carry the message. Just let people know there's a way out. What's the best way to do that? Recover. Recover. It's the best way to do it. You can't transmit something you do not have. And that's what we have out there. A bunch of people transmitting what they do not have. And then it'll turn into things like, oh, well, that's toxic. Everybody's a fucking narcissist, it seems like. Everybody running around diagnosing everybody. I made a comment on this therapist who is literally calling people toxic. And I said, I don't listen to any therapist that utilizes the word toxic. Grow up. And somebody asked me, oh, are you toxic? And I'm like, that's not even a legitimate question. Then they're like, well, you're just doing this because you're a digital creator. And I put that in quotes. So you're just doing this to try and make money. I'm like, you clearly don't know me at all. Right? So who's toxic here? Did I used to be toxic? Oh, yeah. But only I get to say that. Calling somebody else an alcoholic before they have said it is name calling. This is my opinion. Calling somebody a Karen. Go call Karen Osborne a Karen and watch what her mother does to you. Watch. You cross a Gen X or a boomer and you're fucking around, you're going to find out pretty damn fast. Be careful. Right. At the same time, they want us to believe that all this bullshit's going on in the world, but I go out there, everybody's pretty kind to me. All right. Anyway, I'm off topic. I apologize. Highlighting the wisdom of AA singleness of purpose, a member tells his story. Restless one day, I felt I had better do some 12-step work. Maybe I should take out some insurance against the slip, but first I'd have to find a drunk to work on. So I hopped on the subway to town's hospital where I asked Dr. Silkworth if he had a prospect. Nothing too promising, the little doc said. There's just one chap on the third floor who might be a possibility, but he's an awfully tough Irishman. Never saw a man so obstinate. He shouts that if his partner would treat him better and his wife would leave him alone, he'd soon solve his alcohol problem. He has a bad case of DTs. He's pretty foggy. And he's suspicious of everybody. Oh, man, this sounds like a great situation to me. To the doctor, no. Doesn't sound too good, does it? But working with him may do something for you. So why don't you have a go at it? I was soon sitting beside a big hulk of a man. Decidedly unfriendly, he stared at me out of eyes which were slits in his red and swollen face. I had to agree with the doctor. He certainly didn't look good. But I told him my own story. I explained what a wonderful fellowship we had, how well we understood each other. I bore down on the hopelessness of the drunk's dilemma. I insisted that few drunks could ever get well on their own steam, but that in our groups we could do together what we could not do separately. He interrupted to scoff at this and asserted he'd fix his wife, his partner, and his alcoholism all by himself. Sarcastically, he asked, how much does your scheme cost? I was thankful I could tell him nothing at all. There it is. All right. See, alcoholics are a suspicious people because we know something. Everybody wants something from you. Comes with the paranoia, lack of sleep. It's called paranoia. Lack of sleep creates paranoia, right? So we're suspicious of everybody. Tell me what to do. We can't take that approach. See, a doctor can tell you what to do. A therapist might tell you what to do. Da, 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 and they're getting paid right there. That's a cancellation. That's a reason not to listen already for an alcoholic. Denial is deep rooted. His next question: what are you getting out of it? Good question. Of course, my answer was my own sobriety and mighty happy life. Still dubious, he demanded, do you really mean the only reason you are here is to try and help me, and to help yourself? Yes, I said, that's absolutely all there is to it. There's no angle. Then hesitantly, I ventured to talk about the spiritual side of our program. Now, I tell you something. Back then, people didn't know what AA was at all. Didn't know a lick of it. What's the biggest misnomer? That we are a religious program. So approach this differently. They already know that God's going to be involved. Most likely, they already know. Okay? In sales, this is what we would call a rebuttal. What do you do with rebuttals in sales? You put them in your pitch to develop trust. So when you're explaining AA, what you could do is this is how I do it. Now, most people think that AA is a very religious program, and I could see why people would think that. What am I doing? I'm agreeing with them. It's a yes. Yeah. See, now I got one yes. I just need 2 or 3 yeses. I'm going to have them. That's not really the way we work. We even have atheists and agnostics in our program. That's not the AA is not a religious program. What we're going to do is we're going to ask you to look for a higher power that works for you. That could be a lot of things. That could be love. It could be luck. It could be karma. It could be a lot of things. But we keep it in very simple terms. Usually when I'm working with a newcomer, this is what I say. Okay, there is no wrong answer to this question, but I need to ask it. How do you feel about God? I'm only asking because it'll tell me how to help you. What is that whole thing? Number one, it gives them freedom to talk about God the way that they want to in their own conception. And there you go. Now they've got their own conception of God right off the bat. I've closed the deal. I just closed the deal with that question. Well, I don't believe in God. Okay. Not a requirement. It's not a requirement. So that's no problem. All right. So we got to give reasons to say yes to them, to agree with them. I found that's the best way. For me, it works very well for me anyway. So take what you want, leave the rest. Then I ventured to talk about the spiritual side. What a freeze that drunk gave me. I'd no sooner got the word spiritual out of my mouth than he pounced. Oh, he said, now I get it. You're proselytizing for some damn religious sect or other. Where do you get that no angle stuff? I belong to a great church that means everything to me. You got Noiv to come in here talking religion. Thank heaven I came up with the right answer for that one. It was based foursquare on the single purpose of AA. You have faith, I said, perhaps far deeper faith than mine. No doubt you're better taught in religious matters than I. So I can't tell you anything about religion. I don't even want to try. I'll bet, too, that you could give me a letter-perfect definition of humility. But from what you've told me about yourself and your problems and how you propose to lick them, I think I know what's wrong. And here comes the funny part. Or at least I think it's funny. Oh, yeah, he said, give me the business. Well, I said, I think you're just a conceited Irishman who thinks he can run the whole show. And then he probably caught it. This tough Irishman probably caught what he was saying. He was saying, you can't that you're playing God, tough Irishman. That really rocked him. Right. I tell you something. If an alcoholic, they might get a little mad at you. Might get a little mad at you. I don't know how many times I've had a sponsee tell me, yeah, and it comes up in meetings all the time. Yeah, Dion told me this, and it pissed me off in the beginning. But the more I thought about it, I found out that he was right. I don't, I call it like it is, man. I want you to have every chance that you can at this. That means we're going to have to talk about some tough shit, man. Right? Finally, he saw I wasn't attempting. But he calmed down. He began to listen while I tried to show him that humility was the main key to sobriety. Finally, he saw I wasn't attempting to change his religious views, that I wanted him to find the grace in his own religion that would aid his recovery. From there on, we got along fine. Now, concludes the old timer, suppose I've been obliged to talk to this man on religious grounds. Suppose my answer had to be that AA needed a lot of money, that AA went for education, hospitals, and rehabilitation. Suppose I suggested I take a hand in his domestic and business affairs. Where would we have wound up? No place, of course. Years later, the tough Irish customer liked to say, my sponsor sold me on one idea, and that was sobriety. At the time, I couldn't have bought anything else. Yeah. That point, that's really all a person that's looking at sobriety can muster, right? All right. Let's get to today's reading, the daily reflection, those who still suffer. For us, if we neglect those who still are sick, there's unremitting danger to our own lives. Insanity, 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, page 151. I know the torment of drinking compulsively to quiet my nerves and my fears. I also know the pain of the white-knuckled sobriety. Today, I do not forget and the unknown person who suffers quietly, withdrawn and hiding in the desperate relief of drinking. I ask my higher power to give me his guidance and the courage to be willing to be his instrument to carry within me compassion and unselfish actions. Let the group continue to give me strength to do with others what I cannot do alone. Yeah. It's cool. We don't have to do this alone anymore. All right. So don't separate yourself from it either. Be willing to do the work. Be willing to do the work. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out. And